everyone, thanks again for tuning into my channel. This is Spring Porter with Spring Solutions LLC. In this video, I am going over the District of Puerto Rico again, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the U.S. Virgin Islands. I had a viewer reach out to me and they wanted a little bit more information on working in the District of Puerto Rico, so I'm going to do this video. I do have a video that I posted reviewing one of my students' cases where she got a few of them out of Puerto Rico, so I'm going to post that video again, and also the video that I did covering the bankruptcy unclaimed funds in all of the U.S. territories. I think out of all of the U.S. territories, Puerto Rico has the most. The student that got the deals in Puerto Rico is originally from the Dominican Republic, so she did obviously speak Spanish fluently. She did say that the courts preferred her to speak Spanish, even though obviously they speak English, but that is something that she told to me. And I actually did a little research on a few cases, and I did see one of the court documents was totally in Spanish. So I didn't feel comfortable with me actually, working those deals or pursuing them because I couldn't read the document. So if you speak Spanish, this could be a plus for you to try to get, someone on the phone. She also mentioned to me that working in Puerto Rico was a little bit difficult for her. She felt like finding the right point of contact was a little bit difficult. Trying to find the right person that understood what was going on was difficult. I think at the time that she was doing these, they were missing a bankruptcy court judge. They were down a judge, and I think they've since fulfilled that vacancy. So they were undergoing a major change. I don't know if they're still going through those changes or not. I don't know if the process, let's say if you get a deal in Puerto Rico, if you're going to experience the same thing that she did, but I'm just letting you know that was her experience. One of them, the payouts she got a little bit late. She felt like they were kind of dragging their feet, even though she had submitted all the documents that she was supposed to submit. But I'm just telling you, again, every district is so different. And just because someone else experienced that doesn't mean that you necessarily will. It just depends on what's going on in your case, who the staff are, who was newly hired, and all of that. Maybe they've changed their process since. But at any rate, let's get into the Unclaimed Funds Locator, and I'm going to show you the instruction sites for both U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. So as always, we're starting with the U.S. Unclaimed Funds Locator, right? So we're looking at Puerto Rico. Now, the U.S. Virgin Islands is not listed here, I don't believe. No. It says Virginia. There's no Virgin Islands on here. Most of the territories you're going to have to type individually on their website. For Puerto Rico, it's here, I think, because they have the most, as I mentioned. So you just type PR, that pops up here, and you can just do a search. So as of today, right now, me just doing this, there's over 34,000. Obviously, some of them may be too small to work, right? So you're going to have to pick and choose which ones you want to go after, which ones you can find. I'm tapping the amount twice, and here are the higher ones. And so you're just going through these. As I mentioned before, this is the same process that I've shown you before, this initial step. So lots of companies here. Keep in mind that creditors can move. They can be anywhere. I've seen creditors that are in China, right? They're all over the place. Some are in the UK, some are in Sweden. It just depends on, who was a company or who was an individual who had ties to a specific case. So these individuals can be anywhere. You're going to have to click on the envelope. Now, I'm seeing a lot where there's not an actual address on here. The address may not always be on the envelope. A lot of the times they are, but for Puerto Rico, these cases right here, the ones that I'm clicking on at least, it appears that they're not even listing them. So you're going to have to do further research. Go on that court docket, try to find the last known address. That's where your skip tracing skills come to place. And just me clicking on this, here's an individual that is filed bankruptcy and is getting money back. But this case is from 94, but we don't even know. There's no last known address here at all. So there isn't always a last known address. Sometimes, again, you got to do your research. So this is what it's like here as of right now. This is just me just glancing at it. There's some cases. There's one from 2018, 16. Some go back to 1975. That is, again, insane to me. This really, 1988, Chase Bank, really. Okay, so there's some that are really old, and then there's some that are slightly newer from 2015. So you just have to kind of go and see what's going on. All right, so this is what is in the unclaimed funds locator. And as I continue to click on the next page, the amounts are getting a little bit smaller and smaller until I get to the end, and then you may see like a cent or a penny or whatever, 2 pennies, right? This one's from 2016. All right, so that you get the drift on basically this, maneuvering through this. I've shown you this step many times. And see, I'm continuing to click on the envelope, and you notice that there aren't any addresses. So that means they want you to do some more research here. So after this step, you always, again, want to make sure you're checking the bankruptcy court website. This right here is the one for Puerto Rico. And their site looks like all the other ones, to be honest. Right here, here's the unclaimed funds portion. They have 2 court locations. Let me go back because you got to keep in mind who you're sending it to. This one's in Old San Juan and this one's in Ponce. You may have to send it to a different office depending on, you know, which location you're in. That's why you always want to make sure you're reading the procedures. And this, when I click on the unclaimed funds, it's telling you here that this is where you're supposed to mail it to. It's in bold for a reason, right? Request for withdrawal should be filed electronically by attorneys, but for everyone else, you want to make sure that you're mailing it. So this is where you're sending it to the San Juan address. And so here, requirements for a claim. It tells you the instructions, right? So you have to come and you have to read it. Now, in my course, I break this down, how you fill it in. I'm not going to go over that here. What you need to say and all that, what you need to type. That's not what I'm going to do here. But this is just what your procedures are, okay? How you can find them. Let me go back. I think I missed a step. Application right here. And I believe, yeah, they still follow the same standard form, which is, this is the standard form. And so if you keep going on, again, you'll see what you need to do. Again, I go in specifics in the course how to fill this in. But this is initially where you have to go. And this is the step that you're going to see whether or not they work with third parties or not. And when you see this form that looks like this, they usually will work with third parties. So Puerto Rico will pay you directly. I showed you my client, or my student rather, that got her clients in Puerto Rico, and she got paid directly. And I believe they were electronic fund transfers. So although she had a lot of difficulty, you know, waiting, and maybe they gave her a bit of a runaround, she was still able to get her payments electronically, which is great. Right, so that is the website for Puerto Rico. The instructions are here. It's on their website. Again, everything here is English, right? This is a U.S. territory. Obviously, they speak English, but she did tell me just on the phone and just speaking with them, I think she started off with English, and then they preferred her to speak Spanish, just so you know. All right, so that is the area of Puerto Rico. Now I'm going to go over the division of the Virgin Islands. So the bankruptcy division for the Virgin Islands is actually under the district court. And it's listed here. It has general court procedures. For more information on filing for bankruptcy, that's kind of what they do. Let me see if I can type unclaimed funds here and see what happens. No, they're not listed. They don't have that. Let me just double check again before I lie, because sometimes they move things around. I believe the last time I searched for something in Virgin Islands, there weren't that many, and I think I had to email a clerk, I believe. Bankruptcy CM. Yeah, you could probably email this Kimberly Willett here because she's the clerk. You can probably email her, and the title of the email probably just say unclaimed funds, and I'm sure she'll give you a PDF. Obviously, there are not that many there. It's a small place. But again, you can get creative. You never know what could pop up here, right? So that is the Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands bankruptcy unclaimed funds. Now, Hawaii obviously is a state, even though, it's an island. Their website looks the same. I'm not going to go over that because that's a state, not a U.S. territory. But this is the biggest one is Puerto Rico for sure out of those. And so that is that. I hope that this helps the viewer that reached out to me and was interested in working here. That gives you a little bit more information. Again, all the specific details on how to fill everything in, what to say, all of that is in the program, but this is how you initially would get started, just to see if this is something for sure that you're wanting to do in this district. All right, so I hope that this is helpful. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Happy holidays. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.